Big news has now arrived on Gunners. You want to know all the details, so follow me until the end of the video. But first, if you are in love with Arsenal, show your love and subscribe to THE channel now and turn on notifications. Here we post daily news and behind the scenes of the biggest club in THE Premier League, Arsenal. Thank you.
5 Arsenal stars hand Mikel Arteta the boost he was hoping for. As the international break hits, Mikel Arteta might be one of the few managers breathing a sigh of relief. While fans generally dislike these early season pauses, it couldn't have come at a better time for Arsenal. After a frustrating 1-0 loss to Liverpool, questions around the Gunners' style, tempo, and attacking ambition began to grow louder. The close of the transfer window right after that match also meant attention shifted quickly away from the Anfield fallout, a much-needed distraction. Now, with 2 weeks off from club action, Arsenal have been handed a valuable opportunity. Time to regroup, reset, and recover. For Arteta, this break is a blessing in disguise. Despite picking up 2 wins and keeping 2 clean sheets in their opening 3 Premier League games, doubts linger about the team's attacking fluidity and over-reliance on set pieces. Many are still waiting to see the expansive, front-footed Arsenal that the club promised after another big spending summer. But for now, those concerns will take a backseat as players disperse for international duty. Arsenal's next fixture, a home clash against Nottingham Forest, offers a chance to hit the reset button. Forest themselves are in a state of flux, with a chaotic transfer window and a heavy 3-0 defeat to West Ham casting uncertainty over Nuno Espirito Santo's early reign. And while 17 Arsenal players have been called up for national team action, 15 of whom are expected to start, the real silver lining for Arteta is in the recovery room. Only 7 first-team players weren't called up, and 5 of them are currently nursing injuries. That gives Arteta something he desperately needs: time. Among the walking wounded, there's cautious optimism. Christian Norgard missed the Liverpool match after a knock, while William Saliba had to come off early after feeling discomfort in the warm-up. Bukayo Saka remains sidelined with a thigh strain, and Kai Havertz recently underwent a minor procedure on a hamstring tendon. Gabriel Jesus is also still out. The good news: there's a strong chance both Norgard and Saka will be available after the break. The severity of Saliba's ankle issue is still unclear. He was pulled from the French squad as a precaution. As for captain Martin Degaard, his knock against Leeds turned out to be minor, and he was fit enough to come off the bench against Liverpool. Long-haul travel is always a concern during international breaks, especially for South American stars. Gabriel Martinelli, Gabriel Magalhaes, and new signing Piero Hincapié will all return from that side of the globe, but the rest of the squad is based in Europe, which eases the load slightly. It's never ideal to start a season with a growing injury list, especially when key players are involved. But Arsenal will quietly appreciate the timing of this international pause. No club fixtures, no high-stakes games, just 2 full weeks of rest, recovery, and recalibration. For Mikel Arteta, it's not just a break, it's an opportunity. And he'll know better than anyone how to make the most of it. And the story continues, a crucial turning point for Arteta and the Gunners. As the international break progresses, it's becoming clear that this pause could be more than just a chance to rest. It could define the trajectory of Arsenal's season. One key concern has now deepened. William Saliba's ankle injury appears to be more serious than initially believed. His potential absence for several weeks would be a major setback, considering how central he is to Arsenal's defensive structure. Losing such a composed and reliable presence at the back adds pressure to an already stretched squad. The recent 1-0 defeat to Liverpool exposed several vulnerabilities. With limited creativity in the final third and just 1 shot on target, Arsenal struggled to assert themselves. Without key players like Bukayo Saka and Gabriel Jesus, the team lacked its usual spark and sharpness, prompting renewed criticism around Arteta's tactical approach, especially in big games. However, there have been significant developments that offer hope. Arsenal recently completed the loan signing of defender Piero Hincapié. The Ecuadorian centre-back brings versatility, pace, and composure, qualities that could prove crucial in Saliba's absence. His arrival adds much-needed depth and gives Arteta a new tactical option heading into a crucial stretch of the season. Meanwhile, recovery timelines for other injured players are being closely monitored. There's cautious optimism that Saka and Christian Norgard could be back in action after the break. Martin Degaard's knock seems to have passed, and Kai Havertz is recovering well following a minor procedure. Still, with Gabriel Jesus also sidelined, Arsenal will need to manage minutes carefully upon the Premier League's return. Another challenge lies in international travel. Key players such as Gabriel Martinelli, Gabriel Magalhaes, and Hincapie will return from South America with limited recovery time, while the rest of the squad, mostly based in Europe, will have a slightly easier reintegration. This break, then, is more than just a breather, it's a reset. For Arteta, it's an opportunity to work behind the scenes, recalibrate tactics, and refocus the squad. For the players, it's a window to heal and return stronger. And for the club, it's a chance to quiet external noise and shift attention away from early season doubts. With a home match against Nottingham Forest next on the schedule, the path to recovery is clear. Forest have had a turbulent start to their own campaign, which presents Arsenal with the perfect opportunity to bounce back. Still, much will depend on how effectively Arteta uses this time. The break offers no guarantees, only a chance to regroup. But if Arsenal can return with key players fit and their tactical identity sharpened, this international pause might be remembered not just as a break, but as a turning point. Arsenal already has its next transfer priority after a near-perfect window. Arsenal fans had high hopes heading into the summer, and the club delivered. The early promises made before the window opened were fulfilled, and new sporting director Andrea Berta has passed his first major test with flying colours. Back in May, Arsenal co-chairman Josh Kroenke made a bold statement. After finishing second in the Premier League for a third straight season, he assured supporters that the club was ready to invest heavily in the pursuit of silverware. As a club, we are pushing to win major trophies, and we know the men's side fell short of that this season, Kroenke said at the time. We plan to invest in the squad to improve our performance and push for titles next season. We're fortunate to have Andrea Berta on board. He'll play a big role. He's part of a strong, united team, fully supported by the board, and we all have a very clear vision of what needs to be done and how we want to do it. True to his word, Kroenke oversaw what has arguably been Arsenal's most ambitious transfer window to date. The last-minute arrival of Piero Hincapie brought the total to 8 new signings, with the club spending close to £250 million, a figure expected to rise to £300 million next summer once Hincapie's loan from Bayer Leverkusen becomes permanent. Berta, brought in for his sharp negotiation skills and no-nonsense approach, was front and centre during the window. And he didn't disappoint. He's handed Mikel Arteta the most complete and versatile squad the manager has had in over 5 years at the helm. Even Arteta himself admitted as much last month, and it's hard to disagree. The attack has been significantly upgraded with the additions of Eberechi Eze, Noni Madueke, and Victor Gyökeres. In midfield, Christian Nørgaard and Martin Zubimendi add depth and control. And at the back, already Arsenal's strongest area in recent years, Christian Mosquera and Hincapie have brought even more stability and quality. While much of the attention has gone to high-profile arrivals, one of the savviest moves might have been the £5 million signing of Kepa Arrizabalaga. For a backup goalkeeper of his calibre, it's a bargain, and one that could prove invaluable if injuries strike again. Last season, injuries disrupted Arsenal's rhythm. But this time around, the squad looks better prepared. In Sunday's 1-0 loss to Liverpool, the Gunners were missing 5 first-team regulars, while both Martin Degaard and Leandro Trossard were only fit enough for the bench. Losing William Saliba early in the match didn't help either, but even with those setbacks, Arsenal held their own. In every position now, we have a different type of quality, Arteta said last month. Players who can play multiple roles with versatility, bringing unique strengths and threats to the team. It gives us the flexibility to tweak things constantly and stay unpredictable. But for all the positives, there's one area Arsenal continues to struggle with: sales. Once again, the club failed to generate significant income from player exits. In fact, the club's record sale remains Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain's £35 million move to Liverpool in 2017, a figure that feels outdated in today's market. The plan was to secure permanent departures for players like Fovio Vieira, Oleksandr Zinchenko, and Reece Nelson, but instead, most were loaned out. There is progress. Jakub Kiwior's move to Porto, set to become permanent for over £20 million next year, is a step in the right direction. But if Arsenal wants to keep spending at this level, they need to become better sellers, especially under the microscope of strict financial fair play regulations. Clubs like Chelsea and Liverpool brought in over £200 million in player sales this summer alone. That's the level Arsenal must aim for. Still, with arguably the most balanced and complete squad in years, the expectation is that outgoing transfers will get easier. A stronger squad often means less pressure, fewer panic sales, and more leverage in negotiations. Andrea Berta now has the chance to prove he's not just a master of acquisitions, but a shrewd seller too. The story continues. While the summer transfer window has officially closed, Arsenal's next steps are already taking shape, both on and off the pitch. Behind the scenes, the club is reportedly preparing to make a significant backroom appointment. With the head of scouting role still unfilled, the plan is to bring in a senior figure to support Andrea Berta in shaping the club's long-term recruitment strategy. After a busy and productive summer, this move signals that Arsenal are not just focused on immediate success, but also on building sustainable structures for the future. On the talent development side, Arsenal recently completed the signing of 16-year-old Victor Otsian-Vuna from Shamrock Rovers. The Irish youth international is highly rated for his versatility and physicality. Though he won't be eligible to play for the first team until January 2027, the deal reflects Arsenal's ongoing commitment to investing in young prospects and expanding their scouting reach across Europe. Meanwhile, efforts to offload players continue. Jakub Kiwior's loan move to Porto includes a clause to make the transfer permanent for over £20 million next summer. Similarly, Fovio Vieira's loan to Hamburg comes with a purchase option, suggesting a gradual but purposeful strategy to generate revenue from players who are no longer central to Mikel Arteta's plans. Repercussions and what's ahead. 1. A squad built for the long term. Arsenal now boast one of the most balanced squads in the Premier League. With depth across all lines and a healthy mix of experience and youth, the team looks better equipped than ever to challenge on multiple fronts. 2. The next priority, outgoings. The club's inability to consistently generate significant revenue from player sales remains a weak point. With financial fair play regulations tightening, improving this area will be crucial. Berta's next challenge will be to prove he can secure strong values for outgoing players, just as he did with incoming ones. 3. Academy focus and future talent. The signing of Otsian-Vuna isn't just about adding another youth player, it underscores Arsenal's identity as a club that develops talent. The plan is clear: complement high-profile signings with homegrown prospects who can grow into key roles in the years ahead. 4. A strong start across the club. Arsenal's women's team also started the season strongly, highlighting the depth and ambition within the entire organization. Several players impressed in the season opener, including standout performances from both regular starters and bench players, reinforcing the club-wide commitment to success. Final thoughts. This summer wasn't just about big-money transfers, it was about laying down a framework for sustained excellence. Arsenal acted decisively, brought in quality, and are now shifting their focus to fine-tuning the squad's balance, financially and tactically. With Andrea Berta leading operations, and Arteta finally armed with the tools he's long asked for, Arsenal now face their biggest test, turning smart strategy into silverware. What comes next may define not just this season, but the club's trajectory for years to come.